I'ma fuck up my life. I'ma fuck up my life.
What is going on, viewers? My name is Chuck Butler, and you are tuning into my weekly Friday recap. And in this segment, I review what I traded in the stock market this past week, and also I go over how well or poorly I performed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, only if you see value in what I'm discussing by the end of this video. So let's go ahead and jump into it. As you can see in my thumbnail, I made about 2.4% 2.4% this week. Not too bad. I've been on a green streak for about 3 weeks now, so it's not like I'm sad, but you know, I could be happy with a little bit more money in my a little bit more money inside of my broker, but you know, winning is winning. So let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see on my Thinkorswim desktop application, I have the 4 ticker symbols that I traded this week. Ticker symbol ACRX, TSRO, DRIP, and TVIX. As you can see, this first symbol right here, TSRO, was meant for a swing trade. I entered this position at 42.75, and I exited this position the next day at 42.04 for a loss of 1.66%. And my sell point was going to be at 45, but obviously it did not get there due to the resistance that it was experiencing at 43.20. As you can see, this white zone right here, this is where I entered, and this yellow zone is where I exited the next day. The reason I decided to take a position on this certain ticker was because it was above my buy zone and it was not breaking it. It was just consolidating above it, so that was a good sign that it could possibly continue to uptrend and break the 43.20 resistance that it was having. But obviously, it did not go as planned, and it started to trend down the next morning. And as you can see, it hit the bottom of my buy zone. So I decided to wait it out to see if it made new candles below it, but it decided to reverse. But then it hit a resistance again at 42.40, and then it started to trim back down. So this is when I decided to get back out, because that rejection was a sign of weakness, and I did not want to be a part of a trade that was not going my way. So as you can see, I made the right call, because the next day it started to trend back down. So yeah, there's that trade. Now let's go over to the next ticker symbol ACRX. This one was meant for a day trade. As you can see, I entered this one at 350 and exited at 340 with a total loss of 2.86% of margin. My sell point was going to be at 380, because as I have previously stated in other videos, when I day trade certain symbols underneath $10, I only like to play the dollar and $50 psychological breakpoints, because they usually have a good 30 to 15 cent push to them. So, you know, my sell point was going to be 380, but obviously it doesn't work out. And when it doesn't work out, you have to make sure that your risk management is on point so you don't blow up your account. It's going to be the small victories that count in the stock market, not the big ones, but the small ones. To me, I mean, the big victories, they obviously count too, but the small victories, you know, they count too. And the small victories can be losses or wins. They don't always have to be wins. By what I mean by a victory by a loss is that, you know, you get in, the trade's not going your way, but you realize that, and you get out before the trade can turn even worse. So yeah, as you can see, I entered in on this white zone around 350 right here. And it did reach up to 360, but then it started to trend back down, which was not very attractive to me, but it did bounce around the 340 area, but then it started to break down even more, and that's when I decided it was time to exit the trade. But obviously, it continued to trend up after it hit the support it had at 320 right here. Let me go ahead and draw a support line. Boom, bam. and it started to trend back up. What I should have done is I should have set my alert for the break of 365, because usually if a ticker has volume like this during the morning, you usually don't have to throw it away. You usually can come back and trade it later, like as you can see right here, which is why I should have set my alert at 365. And as soon as it broke that, around right here, around what is that? I think it's like 2 o'clock. Then I could have re-entered that trade and made even a greater percent. But I did not want to revenge trade, or I didn't want to be a contestant on Force That Trade. It's not a real show, but my viewers know what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker symbol. Ticker symbol DRIP. This is a 3 times leveraged ETF. The bearish version of it and its bullish version is Gush, and the future that it follows is /CL, or the future that I like to use that follows the pattern pretty well for Drip and Gush is ticker symbol XOP. But you can use either one you want. I prefer to use XOP because they seem to correlate a bit better. So let's go ahead and get into it. I have an ETF list, and I have certain important points broken down, support and resistance points broken down. And as you can see, I bought in at 6 and exited at 620 with a total gain of 3.55%. My sell point was going to be at 630, but I decided to go ahead and take profits because the market was really slow for the whole week, and I just wanted to take profit and get out as soon as I can when I was in the green. So as you can see, this blue support line I entered at 6, about right here on this candle, and I held because it never broke. And as soon as it started to trend up, it never broke the EMA line, and as soon as it reached 620, I went ahead and sold it. But if I stayed in just a couple more minutes longer, I could have sold it at my actual sell point at 630, and that would have been heavenly. But I was right and I made money. That's the main thing to focus on in the market, being right and making money. So it wasn't a bad trade at all to me. It was a pretty good trade. Now let's go over to the last ticker symbol TVIX. I day traded this one on Friday on the last day. This is an ETF. It is a bear for the SPY, which is the overall market index. If the SPY is trending down, then TVIX is going to trend up. As you can see right here, it trended up in the morning while SPY trended down in the morning, and then in the afternoon SPY trended up, and then in the afternoon TVIX went down. And as you can see, I found a buy zone. I was able to identify a buy zone between 45.60 and 46, so I decided to enter around there. But I'm not sure if you not sure, but to inform you guys, my phone is broken, so I had to use the Robinhood web. I had to use the Robinhood desktop platform, and I'm not familiar with the platform, so the time it took to buy in and get out were a bit slower than the mobile application. But I successfully came out green on the trade. I entered at 46.90. I know you're gonna give me crap about not buying above the buy zone, but I don't like to put the blame on anybody, but I'm putting the blame on the Robinhood desktop application. If I would have bought it on the mobile one, I'll admit it would have been a bit faster, but for some reason the buy order was taking too long on the desktop application. But as you can see, I entered here around 46.90 on this green candle, and I exited as soon as it hit 48 in this yellow zone, because I wanted to take profits because the market was the market was very volatile, and playing TVIX, this is a very volatile ticker, as you can see right here. It moves very quickly, and in this horizontal pattern from 45.60 to 48.50, it covered about boom, 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 6%. I went ahead and captured 2.6% of that. Oops, I zoomed in. I really wanted to sell at 48.20, but like I said, I just wanted to take profits, and it reached up to highs of about the resistance at 45.60, 48.60. So not a bad trade at all, and I came out at the end of this week with 2.40%. So yeah, that's gonna be all for this Friday recap. I hope you guys found value in whatever I was saying. Don't forget to, again, like and subscribe only if you found value. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. So make sure to be productive, but also relax at the same time. And, go about your life. So I'll see you guys later.